Verbal claymore. The cacophony we have mistaken for conversation. It is the sound of a culture drowning in its own exhaust, a storm of opinions, hot air rising from the sun-baked plains of profound ignorance. It is not the exchange of ideas, but the simultaneous monologue of millions, a digital Tower of Babel, where every voice is raised and none are heard. This claymore is not the sound of seeking, it is the sound of hiding, a frantic noise generated to fill the terrifying silence where thought, real and difficult thought, might otherwise occur. Human weaknesses. Do not lament these flaws. They are the foundation upon which all systems of influence are built. Vanity, fear, greed, the desperate need to belong. These are not design flaws in the human animal. They are its core operating system. They are the doors through which control enters, the levers that, when pulled, guarantee a predictable response. Every advertisement, every political slogan, every religious appeal is a key crafted to fit one of these locks. To understand a person is to catalog their weaknesses. To control a crowd is to play upon them like a master organist. Business follows profit. The one ecumenical creed, the universal scripture to which all modern institutions ultimately kneel. It is not a conspiracy but a cosmology, a self-justifying system of belief. In this faith, all actions are holy if they lead to the accumulation of capital. Morality, ethics, sustainability, these are not absolute values but line items on a balance sheet, often relegated to the liability column. The planet can be poisoned, communities can be shattered, truth can be commodified, all under the sacred imperative of this single unassailable law. It is the engine that drives the world, and it is steering us toward a cliff with the serene logic of a perfect equation. Certain salvation of humankind. The most seductive and most dangerous of all fantasies, it is the belief that a final, perfect, and permanent state of grace is achievable for our species, and that any price, any atrocity, any mountain of skulls is justified for its purchase. This is the license for every tyranny, the fuel for every inquisition, signed in the blood of the present in the name of a future that forever recedes over the horizon. The pursuit of certain salvation is the guarantee of certain damnation, for it mistakes the messy, incremental, flawed work of progress for a final battle between absolute light and absolute dark. Bandy philosophical nonsense, the intellectual's parlor game, the trading of deep-sounding but ultimately empty phrases, a currency without backing. It is a performance of wisdom, using complexity and jargon as a shield against the simple, difficult, and often ugly truths of the human condition. It is the sound of sharp minds running in circles, mistaking the dust they kick up for profound thought. This bandying is a form of verbal claymore for the educated, a way to signal membership in a tribe while avoiding the terrifying responsibility of arriving at a concrete, actionable conclusion. Who will exercise the power? The only question that ultimately matters. We expend infinite energy debating the nature of power, its structure, its ethics, but these are abstractions. Power in its raw, functional form is a tool, and the only salient issue is whose hand rests upon it. What are the biases of that hand? What are its fears, its desires, its unexamined prejudices? What song does that hand's owner wish the world to sing? All other discussions about power are secondary to this one terrifyingly simple question. Chase mirages, alliances, combines, and complexes. The futile pursuit of safety and collective fiction. We build great glittering structures of alliance, corporate, political, military, believing that their collective mass will provide stability. We form combines to control markets, complexes to streamline influence, but we are building a city on a cloud. These structures are mirages, shimmering aggregations of shared interests that appear solid from a distance, but dissolve upon contact with the harsh, desiccating wind of reality. The moment the individual interests within the alliance diverge, the entire beautiful, complex edifice vanishes, leaving its architects stranded in the desert.